Welcome to the Jameela Adams Experience Podcast. It's a place and a space for women over 40 to be inspired, encouraged, and heard. Your host, Jameela Adams, will talk about how life be lifing and how to find joy when overcoming challenges. You're invited to join the experience. Hey everyone, thank you for joining this week's episode of the podcast. I'm so excited to have a special guest, Audrey Mayrent, the founder and chief storyteller, designer, and jewelry maker for My Dancing Dragonfly. I've had the opportunity of speaking with Audrey before, and she's such a lovely soul, so I've asked her to be on the podcast. So with no further ado, Audrey, let us know who you are and what you do.
Well, thank you so much, Jameela. I'm so happy to be here. And I have a story that could probably take up your entire podcast, but the Cliff's Notes version is that as somebody who's always worked with people in one form or another, either teaching or in human resources or social services, I really became fascinated by people's stories. People were always sharing things that had happened to them or things they needed help with or concerns, and we would talk things through. So I got really invested in that. And I have been a jewelry maker on and off since I was a teen. So I thought, well, when I retired, I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do with my time? Because, I only watch one soap opera and I read a lot, but, life happens and that just seemed kind of limiting to me. Right. And I thought, well, now might be a really good time to play with jewelry on a more regular basis, because I have always made it as an adult on and off. And people always say, oh, do you sell your stuff online? So I thought, cool, maybe I should do that. Mm-hmm. So that's how My Dancing Dragonfly was born. And it's ready-made pieces as well as custom. Mm-hmm. And I was very excited that my first custom piece I was asked to make was of a gentleman's love story with his wife.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, so that was really a lot of fun. I created a charm bracelet from scratch because, face it, charm bracelets are the original storytelling piece of jewelry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it included special things to them, including a compass, because she always referred to him as her compass, her home, and her heart always pointed towards him.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was very sweet. So it was fun to be part of their story. Mm-hmm. Finishing up a current commission, I'm doing an engagement ring for a couple that met while they were in grief counseling because they had each lost the love of their lives.
Oh, wow.
So I've been designing a ring. It's almost finished. So excited about that. And then I just got a new commission yesterday. Mm-hmm. From a lady who she and her husband would like bracelets because they lost their heart dog recently.
Aww.
And we're going to do a little memorial leather bracelet for each of them that helps commemorate Leon, her dog, and, can be kind of something to wear to kind of feel closer to him.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. So when you do these pieces, do you have a story in mind, or the how should I put this, the design already in place, or is it something you listen to your clients and then you just flow with what they're saying? How does that work? How does that process work?
It's a really good question, and actually I take my cue from my client. Mm-hmm. So when she was first telling me, my mind went crazy thinking, oh, we could do this or this or this or that. Mm-hmm. But it was more important to me, number one, what piece of jewelry would be something you'd be most comfortable with?
Right.
I've never made commemorative earrings, so I didn't really think that was going to be it. But a lot of people wear necklaces and they clutch them all the time like a talisman. I'm one of those too.
Right.
But also bracelets. So I let them tell me, first of all, what piece of jewelry they're interested in. I have them give me a price range. Mm-hmm. Because I work with so many different types of media, I can do just about anything within a specific price range if I set my mind to it.
Gotcha.
And also, I really want to hear the story. So why is this dog so special? Mm-hmm. Why was he the heart dog that he was? Why, how do you commemorate two people who love each other, who met because they each loved somebody else first, who
Right.
prepared them maybe for this? So
Mm-hmm.
it's asking questions, hearing the story,
Mm-hmm.
and then I work with my client. It's a very collaborative effort.
Okay.
So we talk about, what do you like to wear? Do you like silver or gold or rose gold or copper? Do you prefer leather? Or do you prefer metals? Or do you prefer, you know, something with gemstones or something more commemorative like a locket or
Mm-hmm.
something of that nature? And then we kind of design it from there. So at each step of the process, I will show pieces and parts. For instance, with the wedding ring,
Mm-hmm.
engagement ring, I mean, it was made with two different wires.
Okay.
Um, and the top and bottom wire are the same, but there's a different wire in between
Mm-hmm.
that kind of pulls it all together. And I got input from my client on that and said, okay, I knew it had to be 14 karat gold,
Right.
which makes it quite expensive. So we made sure the price range was good.
Gotcha.
And then I had them I picked out 3 or 4 different wires to be the glue wire that held everything together, and was pretty sure they weren't going to like anything too ornate, and was right.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked something that was simpler that seemed to be a better representation for them. So it's really fun to have them be part of the process. And that
Okay.
way you get something you really want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when you put the piece together to have the story that goes along with the piece, it makes more sense. And obviously the person wearing it, the people wearing it, it's more sentimental value for them. And to have that piece that has been specially handcrafted for them, that's amazing. So my other question for you, have you ever thought about possibly doing a master class on how to do jewelry? Has that ever come to mind?
I have not, but I have taught beading in the past, or
Okay.
jewelry making, beaded bracelets and things like that,
Hmm.
through adult education in Illinois, where I was living at the time.
Okay.
And it was a well received class, and it went for several semesters,
Hmm.
um, where more people signed up. But we talk a lot about design, the elements of design, odd numbers versus even numbers,
Right.
and trying to bring it to life. And the one thing I would say that would make people kind of look at me funny was, I said, the beads will talk to you. I said,
Right.
no, not like that. They don't, you won't hear voices in your head saying, I need to be the centerpiece of the necklace. It doesn't
Right.
work like
Right.
that.
Right.
But as you play with them, sometimes you'll see like, I need these to go with those, or I like
Hmm.
these 2 colors and
Right.
the 2 different sizes, and I want to make this work. And so you kind of play with them. And there's something very peaceful in playing with beads. Makes me understand things like rosaries or worry beads or things
Hmm.
of that nature,
Right.
because it's very comforting.
Yes. Yes. Because when I do wear jewelry, because I have those moods where I wear jewelry and then there's times when I don't. It all depends on the mood. Right now, I do wear one earring that my husband and I have. He has the opposite. It was a set, so I have one and he wears the other. So kind of like the best friends with the heart. Um,
Cool.
but yeah, but the difference is that it's an earring that is a what is it? I can't remember the caliber. I want to say it's either. I'll have to ask him before. It's either a 45 or a 9 millimeter. But it's that.
Mm-hmm.
But he wears the other one and I wear that one. So when we were out together, people are like, oh, love the earpiece. And it's a conversation piece because people are like, that is so unusual. Like, yeah, because we're that couple. Anyway, but the thing is about jewelry, it is individual. It's an individual piece. And that's the great thing about what you do is and make it individualized. And you take the effort of doing that and you learn more about the client and what they would like. So aside from that, and you doing this business, how do you work this out to where you have the work-life balance? What is it that makes it easy for you to do the things that you do, and what are the challenges? So what is your work-life balance when dealing with clients like this?
Well, now I would say I've learned a few things so that work life balance is better than it was when I first started my business. I was the FOMO queen. I was everybody who offered a workshop, I took it. Everybody
Mhm.
who had a podcast, I listened to it. Everything that went on, I got involved with it. And then one day I sat there and said, is this really the best use of your time? Because
Mhm.
not everything you're paying attention to
Mhm.
has anything to do with what you want to do,
Right.
what you need to learn, or what you have to know. So great if you have time to do all that, but it was like all these shiny objects that kept catching my eye.
Right.
So I cut out a lot of the noise. So
Mhm.
that was the first thing that helped me with work life balance. And that included hitting unsubscribe to a lot of emails, taking myself off people's lists, and just deleting, things that I saved for a rainy day when I had nothing to do. Like, oh, I'll watch this workshop then. And it's like, you haven't watched it in 2 years. You really think you may not even remember. I mean, it may not even be relevant anymore. So what is the point?
Right, understood. And it's funny you say that about the whole shiny object because that's how I am at times. I've learned to curtail it because I get so exhausted mentally because of everything that's been going on in my life as of late. And it's like I had to say, okay, cut back and prioritize. And the things that you really want to do, you will do them. You'll make the time and the effort to do it. The things that are kind of like secondary, that's not higher on the priority list, then you can just let it go. Because I've done that. I looked at, okay, do I want to join this networking group? Do I want to go into this webinar? Anything like that? Because you just get bombarded. And after a while, it's like, no, find something that resonates with you, attend it, and then move on to the next thing. Because if not, you will
Mm-hmm.
never get anything done because you're too busy attending meetings.
It's the truth. And there's so many people out there who are so generous with their time and
Right.
putting stuff out there for free, even. And it's like, well, I was reading one today and I was thinking about it, and it's like, this has nothing to do with anything you need. Delete. Just
Right.
delete.
Go on to the next thing because it's
And the other thing too is in the creative process, things don't always go smoothly. This ring has been such a challenge for me.
mhm,
Everything that can go wrong with it has,
right.
including I had it almost finished, and then I was told, oh, I need it two full sizes smaller
Mm,
to, I got it done almost at two sizes smaller. And then when I was soldering, it just came apart
oh
and some of the gold
no.
melted. So I had to redo that whole piece again. And a tool I was supposed to get didn't come in time.
Mhm,
And the original amethyst that was to be set in the setting didn't was too big, and I needed to go down a size,
mhm.
and et cetera, et cetera. So, and I was sick on and off, and we got our new dog that we adopted in between. And we had a death in the family. So everything was
Yeah.
delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed.
Right. Right.
So I finally just said, I think this is a perfect storm. And
Mhm,
if your relationship is anything like the making of this ring, know that you will go to the finish line like a champ, because
mhm.
I'm enjoying the heck out of making this. I'm really having a good time. I'm so happy to be part of your story, and I'm sorry that it's just taking as long as it is.
Right. Right. Well, I'm pretty sure they're understanding about it. Things unfortunately happen, and we just have to power through it. And I'm pretty sure that they'll understand. I mean, if they want it badly enough, they will wait. I mean, that's just with anything.
Well, and that's the thing. I want to make it definitely worth their weight. And so, finally, the missing tool will be here tomorrow.
Oh,
Yay!
good. Yay.
And it should be finished, and I can start working on my next piece for them, but for the next person whose dog passed. But
Right.
it the second part of that is I have to give reasonable time frames. And
Right.
I had given her one, but she shortened it.
Oh, wow.
I know how long it's going to take. And
Mm-hmm.
you think, okay, you're just making a ring. So
Mm-hmm.
you're taking a piece of wire and you're making it into a circle, and you're soldering on a setting and blah, blah, blah. And it should be pretty quick, right?
No.
Every time you work on something, every time you hit it with a torch, it has to get clean. So it
Mm-hmm.
goes into a pickle pot. After it comes out of the pickle pot, it needs to be shined a little bit so that you can actually see what you're working with.
Right.
And you're using different types of solder, and you're using different levels because you start hard and work your way up.
Mm-hmm.
So each thing that I do really takes a lot of time and care because I want to do it well. I want a piece that's going to last.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% stand behind what I make, and if it breaks or there's a problem, I want it sent back so I can fix it free of charge because, that's how it should be. You're paying for something. It should be the kind of quality that it stays in good shape. So I have to be realistic about the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about doing art type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I do all kinds of different things. I sew, I crochet, I do play with clay and all kinds of things. You have to kind of be in the right mindset to do it.
Right.
So if I wake up and I'm feeling like I did when I was sick,
Mm-hmm.
kind of foggy brained and like I could put my head down and sleep for a week, that's probably not a day I'm going to be playing with sharp objects and fire.
Yes, that's not recommended.
No.
Not at all. So the best thing you do is give your body rest because that's what it needs, and then move on to the project, because if not, the quality obviously wouldn't be there, and you're not feeling the best to make a sound decision on how the piece should go. So yeah, you definitely need to take time out for yourself. So, okay, Audrey, let's go about this. How can people reach you? And what platforms are you on so they can reach you? Go ahead.
Thank you for asking that.
Mm-hmm.
I have a website, and it is mydancingdragonfly.com. So please don't forget the my, because people are like, I put in Dancing Dragonfly. No, it's My Dancing Dragonfly. Why? Mm-hmm. Because somebody already took Dancing Dragonfly. Right. So it's mydancingdragonfly.com is my website. I can chat through there. You can email me through there. You can also reach me at Audrey at mydancingdragonfly.com. I'm on Facebook as My Dancing Dragonfly, Instagram as My Dancing Dragonfly 1, and Pinterest is My Dancing Dragonfly. So you can reach me any of those ways. I love to consult. I love to hear stories, and I love to create. So that's the best way to get a hold of me.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate you being on the show. And I just definitely would like for you to come back so we can get an update on all the other pieces that you did and possibly a reaction from the couple. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and conclude today's podcast. Do you have any last remarks?
Just a thing out there I'd like to tell everybody, don't be afraid to do things, to try things. I've learned so much by doing things wrong, making mistakes. But yet things of beauty can come out of things that are, they don't turn out maybe exactly the way you want them to be. But they still can be a beautiful thing. And that's sort of a metaphor for life. So don't let things get in your way, and by all means, don't limit yourself, but go out there and live your best life.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Audrey, for being on the show. And with that being said, I want to thank you again and have a great week, everyone. And we'll be chatting with you next week. Take care. Do you have a passion project you want to bring to life? Let Jameela Adams at Your Service help you. Jameela Adams at Your Service was created to assist businesswomen 40 plus by bringing their passion project to life through website design and marketing. Visit JameelaAdamsAtYourService.com and register for a free 30-minute consultation. Remember, you have a voice. Use it.